Kaden found himself in a strange place yet again. However, he wasn't too surprised by it. This was starting to become an annoying trend. By the looks of it, his new surroundings appeared to be a 100-year-old building. As he slowly spun around, he noticed that a few of the walls were torn down, but the ones that remained standing were the color of aged beige. The whole space was rather large, so much so that if it were completely cleared out, you could probably play full-court basketball in it. The brown hardwood floor was sprinkled with dust and debris, which Kaden assumed was a result of the walls being torn down. As he looked further at the messy floor, his gaze met his bare feet, which were now a translucent shade of blue and red. Confused, now more than ever, he noticed the rest of his body was the same way. He looked like he was made from the lenses of those vintage 3D glasses. He continued staring at his astral-like body in both absolute horror and wonder. Then he noticed his clothes. He was wearing a t-shirt and his plaid pajama pants. The realization hit immediately. He was dreaming. That thought immediately calmed him down. Unfortunately, that's when they showed up. He hadn't noticed the black double doors behind him until the golden entity burst through them. Kaden stumbled backward as its fiery metal body floated towards him. It had something strapped to its back, but Kaden was too frightened to care. The entity grew closer and closer, staring straight at him as he frantically scooted along the dirty floor. He couldn't help but yelp as the entity hastily caught up with him. Then, as its painfully hot aura was merely inches away from his face, it just floated straight through him, as if he were a ghost. Relieved, but still panicked, he cautiously turned to face the back of the entity. It didn't see him? Then why was it floating toward him? As if it were perfectly cued, his answer revealed itself. It was that mirror surfer from earlier. He stepped out from a nearby room and faced the golden entity. Kaden felt as if his mind was hosting a crossover event for his nightmares right now. "Oh good, you're finally here," the surfer said. "I'm assuming you got it?"
"Yes,"
the golden entity replied in a metallic voice. It then unstrapped the item from its back, which Kaden now realized was the orb-topped rod from his other dream. How was his brain maintaining this level of consistency between dreams? From what he could recall, none of his dreams were this concise, let alone this grounded and vivid. As Goldie handed the surfer the rod, it said,
"There's my end of the deal. Time to fulfill yours."
"Oh, we're not quite done yet." The surfer smirked as he admired the machine in his hands.
"But we had a deal, Mav,"
the entity countered. "We did, and we still do," Mav replied, now staring firmly at the entity. "You promised you would get me this little trinket and see my plan through to the end."
"Wasn't this the plan?"
the entity asked. No, my dear friend," Mav grinned. "This is just the beginning." Right after he said that, his eyes turned in Kaden's direction as they flared bright yellow. "But first," Mav looked back at the entity, "let me show you around. I've been doing some remodeling." He then proceeded to pump his fist up to the roof, which shot a bright yellow pulse up his arm and into the roof, blowing a ginormous hole open to the next floor. As soon as the debris crashed on top of them, Kaden woke up. Kaden shoots up in a cold sweat. He looks around and finds himself back in the cabin bedroom, but now the sun is shining through the white window curtains. He clutches his chest and feels his heart beating 1,000,000 miles an hour. What was that dream? Who is this Maverick guy and why does he keep appearing? It was questions like these that swarmed around in his mind, and he felt that something was terribly wrong, something beyond himself. After taking a few moments to catch his breath and allow his heart rate to slow down, he realizes that Logan's bed is empty. He goes into the living room and, shortly after, hears the bathroom toilet flush. The door flings open and Logan says, "Good morning. How'd you sleep?" Kaden says, "Good." He wondered if he should tell Logan about the weird dreams and experiences he's been having, but he decides not to, hoping it will all just eventually go away. Besides, he figured Logan would just think he was silly. He didn't need any more embarrassment from him. The brothers get ready for the day, hop in Logan's rickety car, and drive further into the woods. As they travel further and further, the mountains seem to keep getting taller and taller. They enter Glacier National Park, where, even Kaden has to admit, the views are breathtaking. They spend most of the day driving around the park and visiting various sites like Lake McDonald and going to the Sun Mountain. They stop at the Jackson Glacier Overlook, where Logan stands at the edge of the insanely deep canyon, shooting a gallery's worth of photos with his phone. Logan turns back to face Kaden, who is sitting back on a nearby boulder, trying to catch any phone signal he can. Logan laughs with childlike joy as he previews the photos before turning back to face the scene of nature. As soon as Logan turns away, Kaden smiles a little, lowers his phone, and peeks over at the canyon as well. Eventually, nightfall came, and Logan parked his car and dragged his telescope out from the trunk. Kaden sighs quietly, given that his eyes are now locked on the telescope case. They were in for a long night. Logan sets up his telescope and immediately digs his eyeball into the lens. Meanwhile, Kaden sits himself down on a nearby fallen tree. He tries leaning back on one of the remaining branches, but it immediately snaps under the weight of his body. "Oh boy, it's perfect," Logan says. "Not a cloud in the sky." Kaden just grunts, grabs the branch that broke off earlier, and starts doodling in the dirt. "Oh!" Logan exclaims. "Kaden, you gotta see this!" "I'm good," Kaden mutters. "No, just look up!" Logan replies. Kaden quickly rolls his eyes, looks up at the sky, and then blinks a couple of times. Shooting slowly across the sky is a comet. "Whoa," Kaden mutters. "I think that's LiDAR 751, Logan says. "It circles around Earth every now and then. I think the last time it did was the year you were born." Kaden's mouth slowly widens open. The comet shooting by with the bright stream behind it was breathtaking. After several minutes, Logan again presses his face against the telescope lens. "Oh!" Logan exclaims. "Talk about luck!" "What is it?" Kaden asks. "Project Cornucopia!" Logan exclaims. "Project Corno... what?" Kaden asks. "It's a space station," Logan answers. "Come on, check it out." Kaden steps towards Logan, who backs away from the telescope, gesturing for Kaden to look into the lens. Kaden's eyes dart to and from Logan and the telescope lens. He gulps a little before laying his eye down into the lens. In the magnification, Kaden saw a large metallic structure shaped somewhat like a megaphone. There were a handful of gaps in the frame that indicated it was still under construction. "What the heck?" Kaden mutters. "Isn't it cool?" Logan asks. "Is this like a government thing?" Kaden asks. "Like NASA?" "No, it's Spearing," Logan answers. "The computer company?" Kaden asks. "Yeah," Logan says. "They made my PC," Kaden says. "What the heck are they building space stations for?" "Beats me," Logan says, "but I want in on it." Kaden's face drops as he pulls away from the telescope. "So are we done here?" Kaden says as he turns and walks back toward the car. "Wait, Cade," Logan pleads. "There's plenty more to look at." "Like what?" Kaden relents. "Those stupid stars? I don't see why you want to just keep staring at them, do absolutely nothing for hours." "They're pretty," Logan says. "Nothing out there's pretty," Kaden replies as he slumps back down on the log from earlier. He briefly flashes back to several years ago when both he and Logan were fairly young and looking through the telescope like they were just now. He used to love it, but now that Logan was finally wanting to do it again, Kaden felt nothing but hurt. "Sure it is," Logan says as he looks back into the lens. "You got Orion, the Big Dipper, the North Star? What the?" Kaden turns toward Logan and sees him retract from the telescope, eyes locked on the sky. "Cade?" Logan says. "Tell me you're seeing this too." Kaden doesn't respond. He just looks up in the direction that Logan is looking and sees something both terrifying and majestic. He sees the stars slowly circling the North Star, leaving bright circular trails in their wake. "Logan?" Kaden says as he slowly stands back up. "What's going on?" I don't know," Logan says, turning back to face him. They make eye contact before seeing a bright flash of light pulse out from Polaris and phase through each circular star trail surrounding it. They both look up at the sky, shielding their eyes as they see a bright figure manifest before them. Kaden wants to run, but he feels like his feet are glued to the ground. And it looks as if Logan feels the same way. There was also something strangely entrancing about the bright figure that Kaden could not escape. He felt a sort of metaphysical attachment to whatever this thing was. Suddenly, the figure began to decrease in brightness, and Kaden and Logan began to lower their hands. Kaden's jaw drops as he sees what was hiding behind all of that light. It was the girl. the girl from his dream from the other night. He almost couldn't believe his eyes. It was as if she were pulled straight from his mind and into the real world. Her eyes were closed, her arms were outstretched, and above all, she was floating above the ground. She was wearing what appeared to be black leggings and a sleeveless blue leather vest with white plumage around the collar. "What the?" Logan says. Kaden furrows his brow. The next thing he knows is that she lowers to the ground and collapses. The brothers, as if in sync, snap out of their stupor with a yelp and dash over to help her. "Hey, are you okay?" Kaden asks, sliding down onto his knees. "Hello?" Logan adds. "Can you hear us?" Kaden is absolutely stunned. He cannot believe it's her. Her eyes flutter open, and sure enough, they are the same blue eyes he saw before. With heavy breaths, she reaches out for Kaden's hand. He instinctively grabs her hand, which feels like a pile of ice. But what she does next catches him off guard. She twists his arm back and forth a couple of times, and he sees a blue wave form between their hands and simultaneously trail up both of their arms and into their bodies. All the while, Kaden feels a weird tingle pulse through his body. "Whoa! Are you okay?" Kaden repeats himself. "Help me," the girl says before losing grip on Kaden's hand and falling unconscious. Hey everyone, thank you for watching that video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully I'll make more of these soon. Alright, have a good day. Bye.